Troy, you there?
Yeah.
Hey, bud.
Hey, what's going on?
Was I supposed to have a camera?
Yeah, probably, because do a quick tour. I mean, these guys are even, buying a welder. They're asking me questions. He's got to download Hangout. That's why he's not on there now.
Well, I can give a tour, but I have to use my cell phone for that.
That's fine. I mean, how's the video? It's not bad, is it?
A little choppy, but it's okay.
Okay, cool.
I can tell it's you.
How's your phone camera?
Well, you saw it just earlier, didn't you?
Oh yeah, then it's fine.
Yeah, that's what I was on.
Okay, cool.
Your forehead looks buff.
And you don't even know when your camera is on.
Wow. Hey guys.
Hey.
Very good. What's up, man?
What's up, guys?
Chilling, man. Chilling. So how many people are gonna pop up.
You know, I've asked anybody that wanted to be on the Hangout to private message me on Facebook, and nobody did. So, yeah, I guess it's just not a hot topic. But I mean, might get a few people watching the streaming video.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, let's see what do we have right now. I get these pretty awesome controls. I can see who's watching.
That's cool. It's pretty smooth.
Yeah. This is great. I never heard of it. I thought it was like, I heard it was like Skype, but I didn't know it.
And so you can watch it live on YouTube.
Yeah, you can't participate, but you can watch it like it's a 20-second delay.
Cool.
Wow.
Well, I guess we can get started.
Okay.
So just so you guys know, I mean, this is Jared, my partner.
How's it going, guys? It's nice to meet you.
Hey.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to
Jared's
meet
up in Riverside, California. I'm down in Puerto Vallarta. These guys are in Ecuador.
Ecuador.
Yeah.
Right on.
So Jared's got a pretty stacked plate tonight. So I want to like start with anything that he can answer, he can show first. He's got a camera phone. Jared's basically an awesome fabricator. Can weld any metal. Use both kinds of welding techniques: TIG, MIG, stick. And he's also, pretty much half of the design behind this unit is just him and I just bouncing ideas off each other and saying, yeah, that'd be awesome, that'll work. So, yeah, go ahead, Jared.
Well, this is our fourth go. I mean, we've built 3 different units. This is the 4th one. This one right now it's kind of a newbie because we're doing charcoal. All the other ones were biomass. And so, yeah, it's a little different. But the principles and the laws are pretty much the same.
Mm-hmm.
What are you guys trying to do?
Right now we just have a like 2 kilowatt generator that we're gonna first power, and then after that we're getting a big old school like F650 or 750, and gonna get that on wood gas.
Nice.
Are you gonna keep it in the vehicle, or are you gonna put it on a skid?
Well, for the generator we'll put it on its own little frame, and then for the vehicle we'll put it on the vehicle.
Right on. That's gonna be sweet.
Yeah.
That's a big engine. That'll be fun to see that come.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's gonna be for multiple properties.
So we're hunting a truck right now, but we have the generator, so we want to get started on the generator.
Yeah.
And we just have to get a welder slash plasma cutter combo, and then we're gonna start it up.
Which we'll get that within a week.
Probably about a week, yeah.
We have a master welder coming down. She'll be here.
Yeah, she's actually coming down. I think she'll be here tonight.
Yeah.
Sweet. She?
Yeah, she.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
I'd like to have a weld off with her.
Yeah.
We'll lay out a table with like a whole bunch of metal on there, and we'll just be like, all right, let's go.
So, so let's be. I want to be considerate to Jared's time. We just built a charcoal retort last night. He just modified it. So we need to get some charcoal made tonight. We're trying to get our unit flared off. If you guys want to see a quick tour, Jared can give you the quick tour on his phone.
Yeah, man. For sure.
And then
let me go ahead and do that. Give me here's the deal. Give me a couple minutes, and I will get that set up.
Yeah, no
Sure.
worries. I can.
Hey, Troy?
Yeah.
Is there a way that we can redo this in probably 3 minutes? Since there's not very many people, so it'd be pretty easy to put together. Just let me get my phone set up and everything.
Yeah, we'll just stay on and just jump back in.
Okay.
All right, man.
Bye bye.
You're bad. So you guys, basically, I've been obsessed with this stuff for 3 years, and when I say obsessed, I mean like can't sleep at night, know all the guys that are doing the same thing, ask all the questions, and so I'm like, you tell me what you want to know. If you want me to just start from the top, I got some tabs open. I can share my screen. We can talk about philosophies of. I guess that's where we could start.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've mostly just learned a lot of what Wayne Keith has to teach. That's about all I've
We
learned on
basically
the
just watched
subject.
his videos and we were hooked.
That's about all I've learned on the subject.
That's like the only system we've seen that we were
Yeah.
like, oh wow. And I know we know that there are people that are innovating it beyond that.
Yeah. 'Cause
We haven't gotten there, but
he makes like yellow flame gas, and I see people with blue flame gas.
Yeah, that's right. Well, Wayne Keith, it's a solid, battle-tested design. It works. It does, there's going to be some tar. There's going to be tar with any biomass gasifier. I don't care what it is. There's going to be some tar.
I don't know.
we don't mind it.
We're
With
gonna
permaculture, we're gonna use it for insulation.
in construction.
Yeah, but I guess what I'm saying is, in a biomass gasifier, okay, it's one thing to want to use tar as a byproduct. There's another thing to have it clogging up all your pipes in the radiator. You don't get. There's no tar with charcoal. There's tar in the retort that you made the charcoal. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
How do you process your charcoal?
Well, we're actually designing a unit that's going to be for sale, but right now we're just doing a double barrel retort. And I'll have Jared, a double barrel charcoal retort.
Oh, okay.
Jared will show you. We got it. It's already built. Looks pretty sweet. Works great. Well, we're trying. So basically, after seeing all the tar in the first 3 units that we built, and teaching it, and it just sucked. It was like sticky tar, and if tar gets in your engine, you got to take the valves apart. You basically got to strip everything down in your engine.
Oh, wow.
It's nasty shit. With charcoal, you never have to worry about that. That's like, just forget about it. You're never gonna gum up your valves, ever, because there's all the tar. Tar is just hydrocarbons, right? Complex chains of, who knows God knows what, but there's like 4,000 different multi-chain hydrocarbons that are in pyrolysis gases.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So when you're making carbon or charcoal, you're going to get those gases in the retort, right? You can scrape the tar off the side if you want. If that's what you guys want to do, that's fine. There's a better way to do that, which is destructive distillation. I can send you some videos on how to do that, but essentially, what we're doing is we're getting a 55-gallon steel drum, a 30-gallon steel drum. The charcoal that we want goes in the smaller one, and it goes inside the bigger one. There's holes drilled in the bottom of the smaller one. There's holes drilled on the bigger one. Lid's put on. You got a chimney for the stack effect. Rocket stove, same thing. So when you light the wood, you'd light it from the top, and it burns down like in a donut pattern inside the 55-gallon retort. And when it gets going, you get some coals going. Then you put your lid on, and that off from your chimney, it's like a rocket stove. You just, and that's when it really takes off. And if you get the heat, if you do it right, you're going to start baking the wood, and then the wood inside, the charcoal that you want, starts releasing wood gas, or pyrolysis gases. Yeah. And then that starts coming out the little holes at the bottom. And there's small holes because you don't want a bunch of oxygen going in there. That's the whole point. You don't want to burn the carbon, you want to bake it.
Right.
So the pyrolysis gases shoot out from the bottom of the inner barrel, and they catch fire, and that's what sustains the burn for the rest, for another 2.5 hours or so. So its own gases are used for heat to continue driving its own gases off until there's nothing left to drive off of the wood, and what you have is perfect carbon. It's almost pure. The only thing you have in there are the minerals that are in trees, and that's what ash is. Ashes are just minerals. That's why they can never go away. You can never ash never disappears. It's just minerals. So that's how we make it. We're we're designing a product right now, a big 4x4x4 foot unit that gets shipped on a metal skid for like serious biochar making. And that's why, that's the other reason I'm into charcoal. I left biomass gasification and got into charcoal gasification for 2 reasons. Three reasons. One, I didn't have to deal with tar anymore. 2, charcoal is a perfect catalyst for all kinds of crazy reactions, like cracking steam. There's 3 or 4 things we could name here that will do pretty amazing things. And 3, hey, I'm on the phone right now. Okay, call right now. And the other thing is, with the charcoal retort, I don't have to make electricity with my charcoal. I can have biochar. I can make charcoal for cooking. You know what I mean? So I have the choice of making charcoal. Yeah, we're here.
All right. Is the mic good? All right. You can hear me okay?
Sounds great.
Okay, perfect.
If you guys click on Jared's little icon, you'll see his video feed. Give him the tour, man.
Okay, so yeah.
Just try to walk really slow and steady because it's kind of bouncy.
Why is it so fuzzy? Come on, clear up. There you go. All right, so basically this is the system we're going right now. That's the core. That is the ash bin at the bottom. Those are the clamps that I put in there with a flange that allows it to mate up to there and basically allow you to empty the ash bin. That copper tube that's coming down right there is where steam is infused at the nozzle, and it sucks the steam into the core where we get the steam cracking. I don't know if Troy's told you anything about that. Just copper plumbing, fittings, little one-way valve. Goes up into a water tank. That above there is a tank full of water. It's aluminum. Been broken on a brake and welded together. This thing is still in a rough form. Hasn't been, we're still in progress right now. But this is basically the setup. We got a regenerative blower capable of 8 inches water column, 8 to 15 inches water column, depending on how thick the filter is and the media that's in the hopper and stuff like that. So this is the filter housing. This filter box is our main filter for the whole system. It's pretty simple how it works. So it's basically a rubber gasket that sits right on the edge of this. Yeah. And it's just welded together. See, it's just angle iron with a thick piece of plate to keep it flat, handle welded on it. But if you look at how this is set up, this pipe, I don't know if that's a good feed for you guys, if you can see that or not. Anyways, this pipe goes all the way down to the bottom and then comes out here. So we're forcing the gas to go upwards so we can use gravity to hold the particulate matter at the bottom. You guys have any questions?
Yeah, show them the cyclone filter. That's our first filter. What you're pointing at right there.
It takes the tar out.
No, the cyclone filter takes particulate matter out.
Okay.
Tar only ever going to get tar out of your gas stream by condensing it out. And that means you have to have ambient air temperatures to condense tar out. You can try filtering it. You can do pretty well with some sophisticated filtering. But this first filter basically says any little charcoal dust or ash drops out in this. 95% efficient. 95%. It's a wonder of physics right here. So why would I? Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, so all the particulate matter, 95% of it is gathered here, and then we just put a little spout down here at the bottom. It allows us to empty it. And go ahead, Troy.
Yeah, so I mean, I mean, I'll let physics take out 95% of my fine dust rather than putting stress on my media filter. So then, Jared, go back up to that box real quick.
Which box?
The filter box. Yeah, so at the bottom of this, guys, we have basically steel wool. So I would say like maybe the first half of it's going to be steel wool. And the reason we're doing that is so there's a little bit, with this process, especially with steam, you're going to produce a little bit of hydrogen sulfide. The same stuff that's in biogas. That, I mean, very little amounts, but it can corrode an engine. So by putting steel wool on the bottom of that, there's a reaction with iron that basically grabs all the sulfur out and releases, pure hydrogen with carbon monoxide. And then the second half of the filter on top, we're just, you can use foam, you can use a wool blanket. We're using just air filters, like, for your HVAC system at your house, just kind of stacked on top of each other. We'll see how that works.
This is what we're using. This filter right here it's a polyester. They call it hog hair, and it's really breathable. We're just going to cut this into squares, and then shove that down in the filter above the steel wool.
Now, you guys being out in the jungle and in Ecuador, I don't know how available some parts are. So your first gasifier might be sort of the poor man's version. I don't know. If that's the case, what you can use for filter is charcoal. So you can actually filter the gas flow with charcoal. Yeah, so I mean, if I can point you in the right directions of much smaller systems, like Gary Gilmore's the Simplifier. That thing's maybe $400 or $500 in parts, and perfect for. Go ahead.
I was going to show them the generator that's going in the system.
Oh yeah.
Oh wow.
Nice.
Well, that's about the size of ours, maybe a little bit bigger.
That one's bigger.
How much? 7,000?
Oh wow.
Oh, this is how many kilowatts is this? 8.5? 750? Okay. So this is so yours is 2,000 watts. This one's 8,700 watts.
Yeah.
So it's quite a bit bigger. Might be in the same footprint, but the engine displacement is quite a bit bigger. So that's that's basically our system. You've seen, I know Ben, you've seen pictures of it as we and Marcel. Is it Marcel or Marcel?
Yeah, Marcel.
Marcel.
Yeah. Why would I say Marcel? Who's called Marcel? Yeah. So I mean, you've seen pictures of it. Now you're seeing it in the flash. Maybe Jared, you can show them the report.
Oh yeah. Yeah, it's just a little project we got.
How long does your hopper burn for before refueling?
We don't know.
Okay.
I mean, we can estimate 12 to 18 hours ish.
Yep. We haven't started it up yet. It hasn't even had its first initial run.
Okay.
I mean, like we said before, we've built 4 of these things, or 3 of them. This is our 4th. I know it's going to work. I've never built a gasifier that didn't. But this one will work, and it's going to work it's going to purr like a kitten.
And does your water feeder that feeds the burn tube, does that require any special parts besides the copper tubing?
Well, I'll give you a close-up.
Like, how's the feeder set up on that?
Well, basically, it just feeds out from the water port, comes down, goes straight into a needle valve that allows you to adjust drip volume, and then it starts spiraling around the core, capturing the heat and turning into steam. And there's a zero resistance little 90 elbow on there. It just sits right above the end port. And on the actual water tank, I used a radiator fill neck for a reason, because it has a little hole in it that fits good, and they work good.
So that hole prevents a vacuum effect. It's just open to atmosphere. And the thing is, guys, I mean, listen, we spent a lot of money and a lot of time thinking about this unit. I think it's the best. It's, at least in my opinion, it's the best of what I've seen all jumbled into one. So I have a lot of hopes that this thing's just going to be.
Well, at the end of the day, at the end of the Troy, at the end of the day, there's no gasifier out there that puts out 50% hydrogen.
And then, so that little elbow that you had at the bottom into the intake, that's air in?
That is steam and then air in.
Okay, and then that goes into the burn tube.
That's correct.
Okay.
And we have another one on the other side, and those go all the way through. And then there's a T in the middle where the nozzle points upward.
Yeah, this
So
is the actual. So this sits in here right there. No, actually right there. So slide this in there, and this sits in there, and then there's a ceramic nozzle that goes on the top.
You know,
Is that ceramic nozzle how you light it?
No, basically you just unscrew this port right here. There's two nozzles.
Port, okay.
This one right here is air. This one over here is steam. The air port right here, you just take a little piece of paper or a propane torch or one of those barbecue lighters and stick it in there and light it. And it'll suck the flame up and it'll hit the charcoal above the screen right at the nozzle.
Okay.
yeah, you're already pulling a vacuum on the whole system because the blower fan's on.
Oh, yeah.
So the heat's just going to get sucked up right out the nozzle. And I mean, again, we haven't tested this. If we need to drill a special lighting port on the side, we will, but I don't think it's going to be necessary.
Yeah.
And we may have to make some modifications, but it's going to flare off. We've done this. We spent too much time in this gasification world to know that it's not. It's going to work just fine. Our big thing is, how does it do after 18 hours? Does the ash grate work? Does the ash grate clog up? Are we creating clinker, which is, it gets so hot? I mean, here's the thing. You want to, yeah.
Sorry, I don't mean to cut you short, but I just wanted, I apologize. I know you have more time than I do. I just wanted to ask. What's that?
Show them the retort and we'll let you go.
Okay. Well, I was just going to say, if you had any questions, so I can answer them, and then I'll head out.
So this is where you make charcoal.
That's right. This whole inside right here is full of wood chips.
Okay. And then the center goes all the way down?
Well, this is experimental right now. This is a prototype. We haven't tested this one yet either. I mean, we ran this thing, and I'm seeing places that it can be improved, and putting something down the center. See, nobody charcoalizes wood chips like that, but at the end of the day, it's the perfect fuel size for the gasifier. So we need to figure out a way that these wood chips are going to charcoalize, so that way we don't have to grind charcoal. We just have to sift it once, and then it can go in the system.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
You know what I mean? It just saves time, makes things easier.
Yeah. When are you guys gonna test it out?
What's that?
When are you guys gonna test it out?
Well, this retort's getting fired up tonight, and as soon as this
system.
Well, as soon as this fuel is ready, then we'll throw it in there.
Okay. Wow. That's gonna be some exciting stuff, man.
Let me know how that goes.
Hey, you guys should do a video.
What's that?
You guys should do a video.
Oh, well, we are. Of course we are. Yeah, we spent hundreds of hours into this thing and thousands of dollars. And we have high hopes.
I got 3 years invested in gasification.
Wow.
3 years and too much money.
Yeah.
Yeah, so this whole thing is going to be open source. So we'll make we'll test it. We'll make any necessary modifications. Then we'll have CAD files. We'll have tutorial videos, and anybody in the world can make it. They can rip off our design. Have at it. It's a big system though. It's not.
Oh, we'll probably be among the first putting it finish.
That engine you guys are talking about, this system will run it no problem.
Oh yeah. The generator or the car that we're talking about?
I'm talking about the truck you said.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah, this thing will run a 400 cubic inch big block, no problem.
In order to do that, and I'll get into that with you guys, Jared. I mean, I'm just gonna start talking. If you wanna.
Hey, you know what? I'm gonna take off, you guys. Thank you very much. I appreciate talking to you guys. I wish you guys the best of luck. I hope everything works out. And you know what? We'll always be here if you guys have any questions.
Yeah.
Hey, man, we
Thank
appreciate
you.
your time too, brother.
All right, you guys have a good one. Troy, sorry I couldn't stay longer.
No worries, man. Go make some charcoal.
Yeah, I got things to do, man. I got things to do.
I'm ready for the big thing.
All right, bye, guys.
Peace.
All right.
Wow.
So we can. So I'll talk some high level stuff here.
Okay.
So, I mean, getting back to biomass versus charcoal, you got two camps, right? The biomass guys and the charcoal guys, and the biomass guys far outnumber the charcoal guys.
Why is that?
The biomass guys say, well, we don't have to make charcoal. We can just throw, dry wood into the hopper and we have electricity. You do,
Yeah.
but you also have tar. You also have radiator systems, where you're cooling the gas, because you don't get that with charcoal. We don't need a radiator. And you're really limited with biomass gasifiers on a couple of fronts. At the same time, they're going to win the argument that you just throw some wood chunks at the top and you get electricity. They're going to win that argument. For me, again, it was the fact that a gasifier won't make biochar when you want it. And where you guys are at, that's that's where biochar came from. Brazil, Ecuador, Peru. Those soils, I mean, you dig down a foot in the ground and you get sandy soil. There's no humus down there.
Yeah.
So biochar is perfect for that. Right? I moved up Puerto Vallarta because there's a jungle out in my backyard. And and it's a tourist city, and I can grow organic food, and there's a market, and yada yada yada. But I really moved down here for because I can get my farm and make my own electricity. So so back to biomass versus charcoal. I have the choice where I say, okay, I just made this big batch of charcoal. It's going in the ground for my garden, or it's going in to make electricity. And if I can't make up my mind, it'll store for 5,000 years. I'll just put it up on my. You can't store wood for that long, especially in the tropics. It'll start putrefying, and you probably get a little mushroom pile going over there after a while. The charcoal will store for a long time. And so I like the versatility of that, whether I want to put it in. The other advantage of charcoal is that you can crack steam. And that's really exciting to me. And I don't know if you guys know about Cohen Van Looken. He lives in Thailand, but he's from the Netherlands. He's actually, hit the coil design, and cracking steam was his. So we're emulating what he's done. And he's got a little system that powers his little motorcycle. And he's got a 2.5 kilowatt generator the same size as yours. I'm going to send you a link to the forum, Drive on Wood, which is, Wayne Keith's forum.
Yeah.
And I'll give you the feed where you can see the evolution of Cohen's gasifier. It's probably perfect for you guys. For less than $500 a part.
Wow.
And you can, drive around on a moped, or you can, produce electricity.
We got 2 motorcycles. And a full.
Yeah, you should really check this out. I'm going to share my screen if you guys don't mind.
Yeah.
I got some stuff lined up. All right, so if you go to driveonwood.com and you click on forum, one of the options, one of the forum threads, you have farming on wood gas, general discussion. Then you see charcoal gasifiers. If you click that, then you're in the charcoal gasifier realm. That's me, that's Cohen, that's Gary Gilmore. You know, few dozen guys that are making charcoal gasifiers. What's beautiful about charcoal gasifiers is if you do it right, there's never any problems. Your engines just hum. You know, I know biomass guys will say, well, my engine's just, there's no problems with ours either. You know, okay, well, we didn't exactly have that experience when we, you know, we built someone else's design before this version. So if you go to this forum at the top here where it says Gilmore style, the very first thread, it's the one with 71,000 views. And it's 10 pages long. That's Cohen Van Looken's unit. And that's what you guys, I think this is perfect for you. I'm going to show you real quick. Let me go back in time, actually, because he's doing some new stuff. Well, I mean, here's a different unit. Hold on, I got to go back in time here. Yeah, so here's his unit, and let me show you some really cool stuff. And he's got videos galore, so this is, where are we talking? Okay, here's his unit. Let me just blow this up. See this guy over here? That black thing?
Yeah.
That's a 5-inch pipe with, he used stainless steel coil, same thing as ours. It drops down and just kind of hangs below the air intake. Because if your core isn't hot enough to produce steam, the water just drops out to the ground, harmless. If it's producing steam, it's going to get sucked up in there and get cracked. And what I mean by cracked is it's going to be flowing through charcoal at a temperature around 1200 degrees Celsius, which is hot enough to, you know, even well below that, you can disassociate hydrogen from oxygen in steam. And basically what you get is, you know, 2 hydrogen molecules and 1 oxygen molecule. Right? So then what does the oxygen do? The oxygen binds with the carbon that's in there, and you get carbon monoxide, and you get hydrogen. If you have steam, you have hydrogen. You don't need to do the water drip. Your engines will run just fine on just charcoal and air. The only thing is carbon monoxide is a slower burning gas. In other words, it's called what's called a flame front or ignition speed. It burns about 10 times slower than hydrogen. So if you can just get a little hydrogen mixed in with your carbon monoxide, the hydrogen kind of acts like kindling, because hydrogen is the fastest burning gas, you know, in the universe. It burns about 10 times faster than anything else. Just poof, it's just ignites. And then if you know your physics, all gases sort of exist in the same space equally. They don't separate like water and oil. They just sort of intermingle. So if hydrogen is combusting 10 times faster than carbon monoxide, the carbon monoxide burns faster because it's got that kindling. So what that means is, you know, in your engine, your RPMs are going to go up. You're going to hear, like, there's a video of him where he's running just on charcoal, and his generator's kind of going, brrr, and he sprays a little water on the outside of this hot tube. This is before he did the steam, and the steam got sucked up, and the RPMs went, brrr, and that's why we're interested in this. The other thing is water's free. If I can crack enough of it, and we're talking pound for pound water with carbon, half of my BTUs, half of my gas flow is free. The biomass guys can never say that. Now we got to do it right. You know, too much steam and the temperature is going to go down because you're going to be flooding your oxidation zone. Not enough steam, you're just going to get a trickle of hydrogen, which is fine. We're trying to find the Goldilocks area where we get, You know, we can make our carbon last longer if we're getting hydrogen in our gas flow from water. And I'm talking go down to the river with a bucket, and that's fuel. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why we're interested in the hydrogen. It's you know, you've seen the HHO stuff, all the guys that are kind of splitting the hydrogen, the water molecules. That's all cool. We're kind of doing the same thing. Let's see what else. Yeah, so in this unit right here, he's got a little hopper that runs this motorcycle, and he's got two. These are PVC pipes painted blue. These are plastic. You don't even need metal. The gas does not exit this hot. If you have enough charcoal dust in here, it gets absorbed. It's an endothermic reaction. So all this heat is sort of self-consuming, and by the time the gas reaches the top of that, oops, sorry guys, didn't mean to click that. As the gas kind of goes through this, it's going to flow through that hose, and he's got two filters here. He's got one filter that's hot scrubbers or steel wool for the hydrogen sulfide. And he's got another one filled for with you know, foam or whatever he's using. And this is a little shop vac motor. That's how he draws on this.
You still with us?
Yeah, I'm still here. Yeah, I'm here.
Sorry,
Did you guys cut out?
our
We
internet's
lost internet for a minute.
it's a little odd out here. So that's a motor taxi he converted? Yeah.
Damn, that's like one they have in Ecuador.
Yeah, I mean, this thing is so cool. I'm gonna build one of these, just so you guys know.
That's so badass.
Yeah, it'd be wicked to convert all of the local motor taxis over to charcoal gasifiers.
They all look like that.
They all look like that.
Yep. And these are PVC pipes right here, just painted blue. These are PVC.
Oh.
And that little, yeah, let me see if this goes any bigger.
Is that all that of his system that he's using? Just the propane tank and those two PVC pipes?
That's it. That's all it is.
Yeah.
I'm going to show you some
Yeah,
better
in the
pictures.
cup.
You had the copper.
Yeah, yeah.
You
We
still have
can
that
use
shit.
that for this.
You leave it in the property.
Yeah. Yeah.
So this
I think
This right here?
too, yeah.
is just a shop vac housing. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
It's
Shop housing.
for
This is what creates the vacuum in the system. It's a shop vac, and you just put a little
shop vac.
housing. So that's it. All you need is a little shop vac. You can also cook with this stuff. I mean, see, here I'm getting into the good pictures right here. So this unit right here is, I mean, you can do canning if you have jars down there and you got a canner. You can just cook, you know, pot of chili, whatever. So it's just got the hose going here instead of the motorcycle. And the same unit, you know, here's the same unit in the day, and here's his engine over here. Right, so he just takes this hose and plugs it into either the burner, the generator, or the motorcycle. And on the motorcycle, he can drive the generator around. So it's just you got transportation, you got cooking abilities, or if you got nasty water that you need to distill, there you go. And you have electricity producing. So this is a really sweet compact system that I really think you guys should emulate. And so if you go to Drive On Wood and go to the charcoal forums, this is the one that's got the 70,000 views. See, that's what hydrogen and carbon monoxide look like when they burn. There is no tar.
it's like white.
There's no yellow. It's like a light pale blue. It's beautiful. It's like propane.
Yeah.
Now, one thing you guys need to know is that, you know, wood gas is not as powerful as propane or gas or any of that stuff. And the reason is because when you're sucking in ambient air to create wood gas, or in this case charcoal gas, you're sucking in nitrogen. The air is 80% nitrogen. That's an inert gas. It does not burn. And you cannot remove it from the system without like $1 million molecular sieve or something called a pressure swing absorber. I mean, I've seen some DIY jobs for a couple $10,000, but you're basically, if you're doing gasification, you have to live with the fact that nitrogen is getting sucked in the initial phase, and it's piggybacking all the way through the system. So what happens is when it gets to your engine, it's going to be diluted. It's like, do you want lemonade or a lemonade that's mixed with half water? It's diluted. So it's enough to make your engines go, but your engines, that's why Wayne Keith, the top speed is like 73 miles an hour. You're never going to hit 110. There's just not enough. There's not enough power in the gas because of the dilution of nitrogen. And there's nothing you can do about it.
You don't want to. No.
We're not gonna, with our truck, I don't think we're going to be wanting to go over.
We're not even going close to that.
I don't think we're going to go over 40 miles an hour ever.
Yeah, that's sweet.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's.
We just need the torque mostly.
Yeah, you'll be fine. There's another thing. I know Marcel saw it, which was the guy that's driving around his minivan. Right?
Yeah,
I mean, the Illumina. That thing, that deal was even cheaper than this one. You just gotta, I mean, that's as simple as you get. It's not a sophisticated solution. Like our big system, the one that Jared showed you, I mean, everything has thought into it. We're trying to get the most power, the most steam, perfect filtration. We have a deep cycle battery, a battery charger on it. We're going to ship that with an extra propane tank. It's already a tri-fuel generator, and you add wood gas, so it'll run on 4 different kinds of fuels. So it's kind of a, prepper's dream. There'll be some permaculture people that are into it, but yeah, I mean, there you go. You can emulate that. However, you're going to get way more performance with a system that's like a Wayne Keith system or a system like ours that is mounted on the back of a truck. And we don't have to have the radiator cooling. Right? Wayne's got to run those side rails as radiator bars, because just the way biomass gasifiers work, you don't have the reduction surface area. That's the beauty of carbon.
Yeah, if you get that 650, you can run a longer bar, so it'll give more.
He's saying with the charcoal, you don't need the bars.
Yeah, if we were to
No need to cool your gas. It's really, really cool.
Yeah.
So you can,
also, the hydrogen, it does give it more power. It does.
Yeah, hydrogen.
It makes it similar to the strength of gasoline, no?
well, you're still going to have nitrogen dilution, right? But if you can crack the steam, what the steam does, it's bringing oxygen in the form of H2O. It's just bound to hydrogen, right? So you're not pulling so much nitrogen in, but you're getting more hydrogen than you would out of a biomass gasifier. Out of a biomass gasifier, they're only getting about 10%, 17%. I mean, it's going to be really hard to get. I mean, they have a little bit of methane, they have a little bit of carbon monoxide and hydrogen. With charcoal gasification, if you don't do steam, you're only getting carbon monoxide. If you add steam, then you're splitting those two. And if you do steam really well, if we can find a sweet spot, we could be looking at 50-50 hydrogen, carbon monoxide, which would be like, we've accomplished our goal. And the nitrogen could be down to as low as 30%, which means versus 50% with biomass gasifier. So that means there's more bang, there's less dilution. The cool thing is we're in an uncharted zone. We're on the cutting edge. It's Cohen, it's me, it's Gary Gilmore, it's guys from 100 years ago that stopped doing it when gasoline came. I have a book right here. I got a bunch of books. I got this. I got like 6 books on hydrogen, philosopher mechanic. I mean, this stuff is invaluable to looking at tables, but on our side, I'm going to take all this knowledge and just distill it down into like PDFs eventually. for people who can just download it and learn how to gasify without having to go through what I went through.
Nice.
Which was,
Good shit.
which I don't regret because I learned a lot and I learned what not to do and I asked a shitload of questions.
Yeah.
But this is your unit, guys. Go to Drive on Wood, look at Cohen's unit. Cohen's on Facebook. He's real friendly. You'd love to see other people emulate his design. And we're talking PVC pipes, a vacuum motor, like a car back, and one steel pipe with some coil around it. You should be able to find that in Ecuador.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
You guys have any questions or anything that you want to know?
Yeah.
What'd you say?
You have any questions?
Oh, any other questions? Not really. So, I mean, yeah, that's about it. We were just wondering about like the size we were gonna build, but you answered our question for that the other day.
I was tripping out on the dimensions of the hopper and everything else as per whatever it is you're trying to assemble it for, which in our case would have been the generator. But yeah, you already went into that, so that was the only big question I had.
I'll show you guys something real quick. What this is right here is a calculator and a spreadsheet that if you can tell me what the engine displacement is in liters, for instance, my Honda is a 390 cc engine, which is cubic centimeters. Well, in liters, that translates to 0.39. Metric system is beautiful. 90.39. And if you can tell me the RPM, this is Cohen's calculator as well. We can tell you exactly the nozzle size you need because that's critical. So for my system, I have a 1/2-inch nozzle, it's a little ceramic tip.
Yeah.
0.44, so I'm a little bit big on it.
Yeah.
For if it's a 2,000 watt, it's probably something like 0.09. Yeah, so I mean you're looking at like a very tiny nozzle.
Oh wow.
And this is critical. If you don't put the right nozzle size on, you're not going to get performance.
Yeah.
So if you guys can tell me, like if you try to hook it up to a motorcycle, if you try to just make your generator go, just tell me the model, the make and the model, and I can go find the cubic centimeter, or the displacement, and the RPM, and then you can find a good nozzle.
Your generator? It's
a Honda.
Yours is a Yamaha.
I think it's Honda.
No, Yamaha.
Yamaha? Oh, it's Yamaha.
Yamaha something.
Yeah, I mean, it's the something that counts. It doesn't matter if it's. You need to find out.
Yeah.
700.
And we'll probably be doing the truck. We might even end up doing it at the same time. And that's like, I don't know if the size of the truck is the CCs. The 750, 650, that's the CC.
You can just tell me the make and model of the truck.
Oh, this.
It's
the block, I
It'd
think.
be like a 1970s or 1980s F650 or F750.
Or 750, yeah. Yeah, old school style.
Yeah, for something like that, it's probably you're probably getting into an 1 3/4 nozzle. So I had a Ford Expedition, right? V8.
Yeah.
It was 5.2 liter, 1.6-inch nozzle in diameter. So it's a little over 1.5 inch.
Oh wow.
I think the engine you're looking at is going to be bigger. So it's going to be hard to find a ceramic nozzle that's that big. But what you can do is you can do 3 small ones.
There's also a ceramic town, like a place that makes ceramic anything. I'm not sure how good of ceramic it needs to be.
Yeah, I mean, look at high temperature ceramic, which is alumina. Go look at alumina. If they do alumina and they can, custom make you guys something, shoot, you can.
Yeah, this is handmade stuff. I'm not sure if they do like alumina.
Yeah, that's pretty. I mean, the stuff we use is which you can order. I don't know what shit's like down there. Here's what we use. Pig cut. go to images here. Okay, see these pink things here?
Then you put ceramic on it.
It's like a
Watch video right now.
just for air.
You guys see this?
Like this, like that you use for water, for example, maybe, but you use it with air.
It's
In the air of the cistern.
where the air enters. It's
Then it's
where it's
cannot
really
come back.
hot. Yeah, it's really hot. It can go either way. There's a vacuum, so it's coming in, and it just gets really hot right there. So you want to ceramic, like 3,000 degrees Celsius. Otherwise, metal will deteriorate.
That's right. This is just the tip. This is where the air leaves the nozzle tip and starts hitting charcoal. And if you can imagine a blacksmith's forge where they're pumping air into it, that's the kind of heat we're talking about. Metal will just melt.
Wow.
It'll just drip. I mean, there's all kinds of bad stories. So these are tick cups. This is for welding. You might be able to get these in Ecuador. And yeah, so this is what we use. Cohen uses spark plug ceramic housing.
Oh, wow.
You can find a spark plug and just take the housing off of it and use that as a. I mean, there's definitely some MacGyvering that needs to happen.
Oh yeah.
We do have a few. We have one city close by, so it's about an hour away.
We go to the junkyard.
We can find some stuff. It's a little complicated.
Yeah, the nozzle size is critical. The other thing that's critical is the cyclone filter. If you're going to make a cyclone filter, which you don't need to, you can just run it through a media filter, extensively. Then, the cyclone filter, the physics is all based on airflow, and if you have something like yours, it's just going to be just a tiny little thing. It'll be just as effective as ours if you size it right, but it sounds to me like cyclone filters probably aren't even in the, even in the works over there, because they're kind of hard to build. They're pretty tricky.
Yeah, man, we're nowhere near that. Yeah. We're nowhere near that.
So I'll leave you with Cohen's. Another thing you want to check out
What is it?
is
I don't know. What was it looking at this? Yeah. This is where the air comes in the gasifier. Right there. So, yeah. And the air comes in.
here was my test unit.
The engine pulls air.
You see that?
Yeah. Is that blue flame?
Yeah, it's blue. It has a little orange in it because I used the charcoal that the guys that make chicken on the streets use. I didn't have time to make my own, and it wasn't fully pyrolized, so. But it's pretty blue. Had little tinges of orange is okay. It's the yellow you don't want. Yellow's the tar. But I built this with no welding. This was a 0 weld job.
Wow.
For $900.
Wow.
But I'm here. What I'm showing you here, guys, I'm just trying to give you some tools. This is Yahoo. The Yahoo charcoal. The Yahoo group is called Charcoal Gasifiers, and there's literally hundreds of build pictures of everybody's idea, and there's some really awesome ideas in here that you can geek out on all you want. Just hundreds and hundreds of great ideas here. So I would check that out too. You guys have any other questions?
I think you really solidified a lot of my understandings about your system.
Yeah.
Cool. Cool.
Yeah, I'll have to talk to you more later when I know more about the size of the engine of the car and the generator.
You got it. Yeah, just hit me up. Be happy to answer any questions, point you guys in the right direction. you're doing it, you want to size the gasifier to the end you have, and not the other way around.
Yeah.
So, cool. If you don't
Thank
have
you.
anything else, it was yeah, no worries, man. I like what you guys are doing. Keep it up.
Appreciate it, man. Appreciate it. Likewise, man. And hopefully you get the group a little bit bigger and get some more people interested in it, and we can have more group discussions and come up with new ideas. That'd be cool.
Yeah, this was last minute, so we'll see.
Are there any advantages to the water scrubber, or should we not worry about that one?
You can do the water scrubber, but I think I was telling Ben to have like tiny bubbles. It can't be wrong. It's not gonna work. It needs to come out under the water and then just get shattered into a million tiny bubbles. Because it's all about surface area. So whatever smoke or ash particulate that are in a microscopic bubble is going to cling to the. When you have a huge bubble, look at all that air that's not touching any surface. So they do work, and he showed me something, and that'll work. So you can do the water scrubber, but you still have to do a media filter.
Yeah. Okay. It's like a bomb.
Oh, yeah?
Alright. We good?
Yeah.
Yeah, brother.
All right, guys. Well, hit me up anytime. I'd be happy to help.
All right. Thank
Appreciate
you,
it,
man. We'll talk to you later.
Talk to you later. Bye-bye.
Bye.